right, good morning, folks. Today is Wednesday, June 1st. Welcome to June, everybody. Episode 122 of the Daily Cyber Threat Briefing. I'm your host, Gerald Auger, and this is Simply Cyber's morning cybersecurity threat briefing that will bring you all the hot takes over the next 30 minutes. I'll be giving you the top cybersecurity news of the day and providing expert analysis on each of these stories, what it means to you as a practitioner, or if you're looking to break into the industry, we got you covered. Shout out and thanks to this stream sponsor, the one and only Barricade Cyber Solutions. Cyber criminals have stolen your company's data and derailed your business operations. Barricade Cyber Solutions will help you resolve this ransomware attack and get your business back on track. I want to remind you, if you hold professional certifications that require CPEs like CISA, CISM, CISP, I think Sec Plus now has these requirements. Each daily threat briefing is worth half a CPE, 2.5 a week, 10 a month. They stack. Be sure to document literally the easiest and I would argue the most enjoyable way to earn CPEs. But Jerry, how do I document it? Here's how you do it. Just say what's up in chat. Make sure that your name is there. If you're using, a pseudonym like, like, I don't know, Obi-Wan Kenobi or something like that. Maybe you say, hey, it's Jerry checking in, whatever. Just say what's up. It's good to engage with the community in general, but it's also great to point to an auditor and be like, I got this. Okay. So if you're live, love it. I see 45 of you in here. Kind of threw you for a curveball today. I said it starts at 8. I actually started the show at 8 instead of 8:01, 8:02. So it's going to be a good one. I'm all spiced up, people. So if you are watching on replay, thanks for catching the stream. I genuinely appreciate it. When that ticker in the corner gets down to 0, we will start the show. So if you are in the future watching a replay of the past, you have the benefit of being able to scrub to the right until we get to 0. But if you're here live, we're going to grind through these minutes. But when I say grind, it's actually going to be awesome because we are going to be saying what's up to everybody in chat over the next 2 minutes and 35 seconds. Want to do a couple quick shout outs. I had the distinguished opportunity and pleasure to speak to Black Girls in Cyber organization last night from 7 to 8 p.m. on a day in the life of GRC/CISO. And I had a wonderful time. What a great audience. Very engaging, thoughtful questions. And I just had a really pleasant time. So thank you to that organization and thank you to all those who attended for just the great session. I appreciated it. All right. I saw Miss Julian in there. What's up, West? Hey, Cybersec Kevin, Josh Mason. Always nice to see you, mods. Carrie, how are you, man? Spastic. Love engaging with you on LinkedIn. Hey, Jerry. Hey, Perdum. Indonesia in the house. Let's see if we can run the country. We got UK over here. So now we got Europe. Would you consider Indonesia Asia? I mean, I feel like it's Pacific, but do people internationally consider Indonesia Asia? What's up, Rand K? How am I doing? Check this out. About to be doing even better after the big slug of this coffee. Hey, Kevin. What's up, Wes? Hey, Annie. Oh, yeah, the good stuff. What's up, George? Squad member. All right, India. That's unmistakably India. So we've got India, UK. I'm going to say Kimberly's in Miami, so that's the United States. Do we have South America, Africa, and Australia in the house? Just curious, asking for a friend. What's up, Anna Lynn? Good to see you. Oh, yeah, this is good. Always learning. What's up? Hey, Jerry. Love it. Boom. Guys, obviously I'm going to tease it a little later, but it is Wednesday. It's a it's a Threat Gen Let's Play. You may notice I'm wearing my red team shirt. I'm going all offensive security later today. I will be Wizard Spider, aka Conti Ransomware Gang, aka dominating a pipeline company using my web hacker dark art skills on ransoming and doing data exfiltration and getting that paper.
Great cash, homie.
All right. What's up, Nathan Wilson? Eula Chua, good to see you. Hey, Lupe. Vermont, I'm sorry. It's raining. That's tough. But, you guys have beautiful views there, so you're good to go. Emilio, what's up? Oh, yeah, supply chain's a real thing, Emilio. Get that. Never too early to get the Christmas shopping done for real. Hey, what's up, Claudio from Argentina? Yes! South America in the house. Thank you, Claudio. All right, so guys, everything but Africa. And I know we typically have people from Ghana chiming in. Nigeria has checked in before. If we can get someone from Africa to chime in legitimately, we will have, I believe, all the major continents minus Antarctica. I do have contacts in Antarctica. We'd have to organize to get them to tune in, but we can do it, guys. We can do it. What's up, Ohio? Philip, to see you. Philip, good to see you. Hey, Nathan. Let me just take one more slug of coffee, guys, and we will get in. What's up, Poland? Good to see Dave. Hey, Shane. Shane in the car with the kids. Shane, I don't know where I live. It's the last week of school. If you want to call it school, really quick editorial, guys. The last week of school, when your kids are like in 5th grade or younger, Chris Weaver, we will take that as an Africa hit. What do they call that? Like there's a word for it. I can't think of it. Proxy. Okay. If you're in 5th grade or younger, the last week of school is like daycare. Like it's really not. They're not doing much learning. My kids brought home all of their materials. So, anyways, let's get into it. Real quick shout out before I start. You guys, the squad, you guys are coming in hot and heavy, moving faster than I can give you proper shout outs and respect for. So I do want to say thank you. Let me get my big mug out of here. Nope, that's too much of my big mug. Hold on. What? This guy. Shout out and thanks to Chris Sharp, George Strasburger, P.S. Jeremy Sharp. I see you guys. George, I saw you in chat. Thank you for joining the squad. Thanks for supporting the channel. I genuinely appreciate it. I didn't give you props when you did it initially, but I do want to give you the proper shout outs and welcome you personally to the squad. Thank you so much. All right, so let's dig in. Let's get rid of the timer. Let's fix this. I will say that CISO Series has changed their layout a little bit, so it doesn't have the date anymore. But basically, we go to CISOseries.com, and that's where we get our podcast and how we consume all this wonderful information. So consider going over there and subscribing to their stuff. All right, guys, let's dig in today's podcast and threat briefing. Cheers to everybody.
From the CISO Series, it's cybersecurity headlines.
It's Wednesday, June 1st, 2022. Follina vulnerability under active exploitation. Following up on a story we brought to you yesterday on cybersecurity headlines, Chinese-linked threat actors known as TA413 are now actively exploiting a Microsoft zero-day known as Follina to remotely execute malicious code on Windows systems. Proofpoint researchers observed TA413 launching its exploits via the MSDT protocol when victims open or preview Word documents delivered in zip archives. The bug, tracked as CVE-2022-30190, impacts all installs later than Windows 7 Client and Windows Server 2008. Though a patch is not yet available, admins and users are urged to disable the MSDT protocol.
Okay, so we heard about this yesterday. Remember Kevin Beaumont? Guys, this is why I was telling you Kevin Beaumont is like next level, absolute must follow on Twitter. He was tweeting about this. He showed a proof of concept exploit. Guys, real quick, because this is something that you need to take action on if you're responsible for information security at an organization, okay? This is being actively exploited. The fact that nation state actors are doing it doesn't mean that you're in scope, but as the attacks get out, as people start researching them, the availability of the exploit and the concepts behind it will become wider spread, right? So expect someone like Conti or Wizard Spider, whatever, like these threat actor groups to start adopting these techniques, because if you can run PowerShell code through a macro, that's how you can detonate Emotet, which is like kind of the kickstart to that whole Emotet TrickBot ransomware triumvirate. So this is a real issue. So what do you need to do? First of all, get familiar with this Follina bug. I know that Black Hills Information Security did a webcast yesterday. I didn't catch it myself, but they always have great information, so consider looking at that. The key thing here is disabling this Microsoft Windows Support Diagnostic Tool, MSDDT. You really don't need it running in your environment. If there's something that absolutely requires that you could turn it on, do it, turn it off, all right? That you are protecting end users from themselves, because we've educated them on not running macros. Some of us have even pulled macro execution ability out of our environment. So people are just happily going along because they believe that you're protecting them, which is fine. This is a new technique. It leverages something that is in place right now. So the workaround is to disable it, right? You can follow this link. I'll drop it in chat right here. Hold on. Does this actually have the, ooh, this is nice. It has the executive summary. So if you need to like do a widespread shutdown and you need to explain it to management, this is how you will do that. This doesn't really help me understand how to disable it in the environment. This is not a good. There's no patch available, guys. So you need to disable the MSDD tool. I'm sure if you just Google how to disable it, it will come up. That's the that's the action item for you. I will be doing this in my environment after today or after today's briefing. I encourage you to do it yourself. Also, fun fact, if you're looking for a job in cybersecurity, get familiar with this, because if they ask you about anything current and you say the Follina attack or the how we were able to get around macro or PowerShell execution via macros through Office docs, this is the answer. This is a priority story right now. Okay, cool.
Tension inside Google over conduct of fired researcher. Back in 2018, Google AI researchers Anna Goldie and Azalea Mirassani garnered media attention for their work on Project Morpheus, which tested whether an AI technique called reinforcement learning could improve upon Google's new powerful TPU computer chips. According to reports from current and former Google employees, a senior researcher, Satyajit Chatterjee, used the cover of Scientific Debate to undermine the two women's research. Despite multiple employee complaints about his treatment of women and a written warning from HR, Chatterjee continued his criticism. In March of this year, a committee of senior Google executives denied Chatterjee's request to publish a public rebuttal to the research, shortly after which Chatterjee was fired. While Google continues to leverage the algorithms from Project Morpheus in their chips, it is unclear whether Chatterjee's paper will be formally published or peer-reviewed outside Google.
Okay, so this story obviously is all about sexism in the workplace, right? It's in our feeds because it's Google, because it's AI. Um, Interesting concept. Like, so, like, just to take the sexism part out of that. I mean, basically, let's just address, I guess, this really quickly. Sounds like a senior person who was in a position of authority was a male who had kind of sexist opinions or perspectives of female employees in the same space, and tried to basically like dominate them and discredit their work. He ended up getting fired, and who knows what's going to happen to him. Hopefully he learns from this experience. Now, here's what is interesting to me about this: the junior researchers, or just researchers, um, their idea was to use AI to increase the algorithms and abilities of ML. So, real quick, you use machine learning in order to train models, in order to make decisions and appear to be, intelligent. It's really, really cool. It's kind of it's like the foundational basis underneath modern AI, right? So having said all that, uh, by doing kind of recursive, like a recursive methodology of having the AI actually improve the ML of itself. And I'm sure it was a different AI that was doing the ML. It wasn't like recursively doing it on itself. That would be insane. But love the idea. Love the idea. At the same time, it scares the crap out of me because I know this is going to sound tinfoily, but I feel like we're getting close to Skynet, right? Like, I mean, at some point, there's going to be like artificial intelligence, civil rights activists, because these things are going to blur the line between consciousness and just programmed, because people always say it's whatever the programmer made the robot do or whatever. But with these machine learnings and these algorithms and stuff, they begin to kind of like build their own concepts and ideas. Of course, there's been some wild research, if you guys want to look into it, of early examples where they released like ML based Twitter bots and they became like racist really quickly. I think it was a Microsoft bot that did that. So obviously there's a lot to work on there, obviously, but it's just interesting. AI and ML. I'm like right on the the sidelines, like very interested in watching it, but it's kind of beyond me. I've dabbled with it from a data science perspective because I find data science to be fascinating. But it's not my bag. Cyber's my bag.
IBM to pay $1.6 billion for poaching customer account. On Monday, a U.S. district judge in Houston ordered IBM to pay $1.6 billion to BMC Software for swapping in its own software while servicing their mutual client, AT&T. After a 7-day non-jury trial, the judge rejected IBM's claim that it fairly acquired the business from AT&T, who was one of BMC's core customers. The judge noted that IBM's role in AT&T's choice to dump BMC, quote, smacked of intentional wrongdoing, end quote.
Hold on, what? So IBM and AT&T are competing for no, I'm sorry. IBM and BMC are competing for AT&T as a client. BMC had them. IBM has them at $1.6 billion poaching. I'm really curious. Like, isn't this like what capitalism is? Like, it's one thing if someone leaves no, even that doesn't matter, right? So, like, let's say I'm the client account executive for BMC, and I leave to go work at IBM, and AT&T is like, "Oh, we really liked working with Jerry. We're gonna move over there." Um, like we see this in the DoD with government contracting all the time. Of like, they call it flipping badges, where like the staff will just stay and they'll flip the badge, but people win contracts, lose contracts. Okay, so here's the problem. IBM and BMC had operated under a negotiated agreement that forbade IBM to encourage mutual clients to switch. Okay, so this is the crux of it, all right? This is the crux of it. This is what I would say. Follow the money.
Straight cash, homie.
It's simple economics, right? Somebody at IBM got greedy and went and took AT&T as an account after IBM and BMC had agreed not to basically poach each other's clients, right? So someone was trying to get paid, I don't know, make their Q4 numbers, whatever. And that's the case. But dude, $1.6 billion, yikes. Oh, that's not for me. Not for me, man. So, whatever. This is to me a very non cybersecurity related story. These stories do kind of drop in occasionally from cisoseries.com, especially on a slow news day. But whatever, this happens at this level. But whoever made the acquisition of the AT&T account likely got fired.
Clearview AI fined millions for data privacy violation.
Oh, this is good.
The UK Information Commissioner's Office has fined Clearview AI Inc. $8 million for violating the country's data protection laws. According to the ICO, Clearview AI collected over 20 billion facial images and data of its citizens from publicly available internet sources and social media platforms without their consent. Clearview, whose facial recognition database has been used by law enforcement and commercial organizations for investigative purposes, has also been ordered to purge the data of UK residents from its systems. The ICO's fine adds to the list of similar fines and bans from several other countries and organizations.
Okay, I hate to. Well, first of all, two things on this. One, if you guys don't know what Clearview AI is, Google it and check it out. It is creepy how effective it is. And the CEO, the guy behind it, I don't know if he's like directly involved with the technical developments of it, but he's like the face of Clearview AI. He's kind of like smug, or he's like openly kind of not arrogant, but like pretending to be blissfully ignorant about like the implications of what this technology can do and how it's completely fine, it's completely legit. And he's right, but there are some like societal, ethical, moral boundaries that are being kind of uh, just walked up to, if not crossed over. Okay, so Clearview AI, basically, real quick, Clearview AI scrapes all the internet for images, right? And it has the ability to analyze people's faces in the images, and it made a gigantic database. And the part of the problem, and then they can use that technology to find anyone, anywhere, on anything, right? So like they take my face, they could pull up everything that I'm on and where I'm at, and then obviously you can use that to on CCTV cameras, real-time feeds, be able to find me, be able to see who I'm associated with, see where I was, when I was, etc. That's why law enforcement likes it. The problem is, like, if your Facebook account is set to public for, like, let's say a week, and then you shut it to private because you're like, oh, I don't like all this exposure. Doesn't matter. Clearview AI has already scraped all your pictures, and it's their property now. And this is where it gets murky on the legal parts. Like, no, it's my photo. Yeah, but it was publicly available on the internet, and now it's our photo. It's not an NFT, right? So anyways, that's what's going on. So Clearview AI. Now, here's the thing I would say: $8 million for a privacy violation in UK. So maybe GDPR or whatever. To me, Clearview AI is probably thinking $8 million is simply the cost of doing business because they're getting paid out. I guarantee you. So obviously, yeah, Chris Weaver. Yeah, possibly, or in tandem. It's uncanny that there's a really well done, like, 60 minutes or a Dateline video on YouTube of the Clearview AI guy and a reporter, and they do the reporter, his face in the demo, and it's very striking. So, anyways, I'm not surprised about this. In fact, a couple months ago, Australia like tried to have Clearview AI like have every Australian citizen in the Clearview AI database removed, and there was a lot of pushback because it's like, what if they live in the UK now? What if the photo was taken in Asia? Like, do their rights extend beyond their international boundaries? All this other stuff. Obviously, Clearview AI just lawyered up and did nothing. So this is really, really powerful tech and kind of crazy. So, anyways, the long story short, check out Clearview AI. I guarantee you that they're going to get more fines. We'll be hearing more about this, but the amount of money that they're making versus what they're paying for, I think is disproportionate, right? And again, it's like the NSO Group's Pegasus software. It's supposed to be for law enforcement only, but guess what? Straight cash, homie. Money talks, right? If I am a private organization and I've got lots of Mario coins, I can buy this. Why wouldn't they sell it to me, right? Like, money talks, okay? So anyways, check it out.
And now let's thank today's episode sponsor for.
All right, so let's thank Simply Cyber's daily cyber threat briefing sponsor, Simply Cyber. Go to simplycyber.io and check out all of the free resources and all the action over there. I actually want to just tell you guys that I am seriously considering hiring a professional web developer to redo the simplycyber.io website because I built it, and I've had multiple people tell me like, it's cool. But like, obviously, I'm not a web dev, and it could be improved to help everybody. And with squad support and some of the other kind of revenue streams, I can now afford a web dev to help us out and make that website a little bit more easier to navigate. I know some people have talked about having the different sections on the free resources tab be their own pages and easier to navigate and stuff like that. So anyways, simplycyber.io. Go check it out. Be a friend. So, all right, let's continue.
Fruit secures client side OT.com. Hackers can steal WhatsApp accounts using call forwarding. Raul Sazi, founder and CEO of CloudSec, has posted details of a trick that allows attackers to hijack a victim's WhatsApp account. First, the attacker must trick the victim into calling a number that starts with a man-machine interface, or MMI code, which can easily be found on the internet. This prompts the carrier to forward calls to the attacker's number, who can then begin the WhatsApp registration process. After choosing to receive the one-time password via voice call, they can then enable two-factor authentication and lock legitimate owners out of their accounts. The good news is, the attack can easily be thwarted by enabling 2FA, which would prompt the would-be attacker for a PIN upon their attempt to register the account.
Okay. If you use WhatsApp, which I only use for one group of people that I talk to who insist on using WhatsApp, so this affects me. If you're using WhatsApp with any regularity, even if it's just one person that you chat with, be mindful of this. You should have multi-factor authentication enabled for stuff like this anyways, but just be mindful. If you're given a message and you should share this. This is a great opportunity to share a security awareness message with your end user community. You don't have to tell them about, man machine interfaces or OTPs or anything like that. Just tell them, hey, be mindful. If you get a call from an attacker on WhatsApp that wants you to call a number that starts with **67 or *405, it's a hack. Disregard it. That's as simple as you need to make it. Great opportunity to educate people. And again, hat tip to the bad guys. They're always innovating, always trying to find ways to circumvent. Again, some people might say, well, what's the value of my WhatsApp account? Well, if you're, Elon Musk, you can then turn it around and socially engineer people to send you Bitcoin. If you're, just like a regular person who is an Elon Musk, you could still socially engineer people. You could, I don't know if they get into the WhatsApp account, if you get access to any images that have been shared through that account, possibly. Obviously you get locked out of your account, so they could try to sell it back to you. There's a couple different kind of attack vectors with impacts. So long story short, you don't want to be hacked. You do not want to be victimized. If you've ever had any of your accounts or systems or devices compromised, it sucks. If you've ever had your credit card used illegally and had to cancel it and get a new one, it sucks, right? So let's just not have our WhatsApp accounts compromised.
Shareline exposes flight and crew info. Back in February, researchers from Safety Detectives discovered an unsecured AWS bucket containing sensitive data belonging to low-cost Turkish airline Pegasus Airlines. Nearly 23 million files totaling around 6.5 terabytes were found on the leaky bucket, including crew photos and signatures, flight cards, insurance documents, details of issues found during pre-flight checks, crew shift information, as well as plain text passwords and secret keys. Some of the leaked information was traced back to the electronic flight bag software developed by the airline.
What?
Access can
Okay, so I don't even get it. I don't know what this electronic flight bag software is. It looks like it's something that allows like a more optimized way of flight crew and pilots and flight attendants to be able to manage the turnover process, which as a consumer of airlines flights, which just last week I suffered a great experience and horrible experiences. You want those turnarounds to be faster. The story here is like, hold on, give me a spice ring. Listen to me. The story here is First of all, a third party found it, right? So they weren't even looking for themselves. But it's why can't I highlight this? What the crap? Listen, AWS bucket leaks, leaky buckets. No one wants leaky anything, right? I don't want leaky water heater, leaky bucket, leaky sink. Like, can we not make S3 buckets secure by default and then have people have to configure them to be insecure, right? So it says after misconfiguring an AWS bucket. So perhaps we should assume that the AWS bucket was configured correctly and someone misconfigured it. I'm just like numb and apathetic. I guess I'm not apathetic because I'm getting all worked up, but I'm numb to leaky S3 buckets, man. Like, think about what's in here. It's tons of PII, 6.5 terabytes. 6.5 terabytes. Do you know how much text you need to make 6.5 terabytes? It's a lot. Okay. 23 million files found, set over 3 million full of sensitive flight data. Now it says flight charts, insurance documents, details of issues found during pre-flight checks. Okay. Like, I'm not going to, it says sensitive because you wouldn't want that out, but like flight charts, like you can, like, that's public data, right? We've famously seen that Twitter account that tracks the oligarchs and Elon Musk's flights. Pre-flight checks and issues found. I mean, that could be embarrassing, right? But here's the thing. The reason they have pre-flight checks is so you don't take off with a like malfunctioning engine or something like that. So if issues are found and you take off and there's a problem in flight, that's going to come out anyways. Not to say that I want to get on a plane that's going to have a problem in flight, but my point is, whatever. It's not that sensitive, but the PII, 1.6 million of PII, including photos and signatures. Now we're talking identity theft. We're talking, like, I don't know, like it depends what PII there is. I would say that even though it's sensitive and I wouldn't want my information leaked, I don't I wouldn't consider this extra sensitive. For me, the big story here is the S3 buckets being leaky. Like, what are we doing? Seriously. Like, I don't know. It's been a minute since I went to AWS. Can we just look to see if there's like AWS S3 bucket configuration, best practices, secure configurations, tools that will tell you this thing is leaky? I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I'm asking for too much, but guys, this happens all the time. This, like, you don't hear about other AWS problems, but leaky buckets. Like, come on.
Rule may help address climate risk management efforts. Under a new rule proposed by the SEC, public companies would be required to disclose.
I'm sorry. So the key takeaway here is if you're using AWS and you have S3 buckets, which is a fairly common practice if you're building kind of web apps, like make it a point to check at least once a month that those buckets haven't been misconfigured or like the configuration has changed because they're having a problem doing something. Carl was troubleshooting and like, oh, when I open it to public, everybody can like the team can access it, so it's good to go. Yeah, because everybody can access it. You need to check these things or have configuration management controls in place, change access reviews and stuff like that. Like it's ugh.
Greenhouse gas emissions annually to protect investors from negative earnings impacts caused by emissions issues. Modern security and building access systems are commonly used to inform smart building features that regulate energy use. As electricity accounts for the second largest share of greenhouse gas emissions in the US, access control data is expected to become a pivotal asset for proving compliance with the new rule.
Okay.
Singapore.
I don't understand how access control gets involved here. I mean, are they talking about people showing up and so they can like like you swipe in so they can measure like how many people are going in and coming out, or is it like access control to data, right? It's like data sets, S3 buckets, right? I don't exactly understand this. So this story is kind of weak sauce as far as I'm concerned. I mean, climate change is a real thing. And I appreciate that they're trying to move towards net zero emissions. Like, again, this is such a slow news day, guys. Like access control. Obviously, you want access control on any sensitive information, including who accesses what and whatnot. If this does have to do with the amount of people like showing up at work and stuff like that, to measure like how many people are moving around and with car emissions and stuff, maybe. But I don't know. This is just kind of a confusing story. Plus, I was all frothed up from that S3 bucket story, so I wasn't fully engaged on this. I will say, just as a fun fact, this I've been watching this a little bit. This is from a huge company called Castle that does like tons of access management for tons and tons of companies, and they have so much telemetry that they actually track how many people are like physically swiping in at their offices. And I'll just share this really quickly. This is cool. You can actually measure the return to work barometer, right? This is pretty cool, and it's week by week, right? So this is the week of May 30th, right? And you could see like Chicago, LA, there's an uptick of people going back. San Jose, like the Dallas and the major metropolitan areas are going down. So about 42% of people are going back to work, right? You can see here, this is a really cool graphic too over time. You can see where the pandemic hit. Anyways, I'll share this link. I check this like once a month. It's very interesting, but you could see this return to work. It's spiking right here. There must have been a huge another COVID thing, like maybe Omicron right here or something. But anyways, you can see it spiking back up of return to work. So very interesting stuff. Sorry, just wanted to share that with y'all really quickly. All right, let's finish.
Or to pilot digital asset trading with blockchain and tokenization. On Tuesday, the Monetary Authority of Singapore announced plans to pilot use cases of asset tokenization and autonomous trading powered by blockchain technology. Called Project Guardian, the initiative will include an evaluation of regulations needed to safeguard against potential risks. Singapore financial authorities have noted a number of potential benefits of the model, including greater liquidity, better price discovery, access to illiquid assets, and cost savings associated with removing the need for intermediaries. And that does it for
Okay. Um, yeah. All right. So Singapore is going to try to, do digital asset training. Basically, I love that the idea is to take something that's supposed to be decentralized, and the governments of the world are like, let's centralize it. So we'll see. You guys know, and I know, with the amount of Wild West, lack of regulation, lack of good controls, the amount of fraud, it's a perfect storm of hot mess on fire, right? As my wife says, it's the hot mess express. So, way to go. If Singapore does it, that's great. But just be mindful that I could see something like this getting absolutely jacked up quickly if they don't have all the controls in place. I will send that castle link in a. I'll do it in right now. Hold on one second. Doink. Let me see this really quickly. I'm putting it in chat. There it goes. Hey, real quick, guys, before I go any further, I do want to share one thing. Just last time I'll mention it because it's very, very timely. And I have enjoyed working with Integer quite a bit, actually, their product in their group. I've even had them on Simply Cyber a few times. If you're going to RSA, if you're going to B-Side San Francisco, and you're interested in learning a little bit more about a security operations tool, whether you're just a student and you're wanting to learn more about it, or if you're a CISO and you're trying to actually improve time to close in remediation of incidents, it's a cool tool. I use it mostly for malware file analysis because it can do it in like 5 seconds versus me trying to reverse it or do any other stuff like that. But they also have detect and hunt and some kind of incident response capabilities, which I'm not super familiar with. But if saving time or remediating incidents is kind of in your wheelhouse and you're going to these conferences, consider going to the Integer booth, right? Not the booth, but I think they're doing something a little bit more intimate. You can follow the link in chat right now to just basically drop your name and stuff, and they'll reach out to you and be like, hey, let's grab a coffee and we'll show you what's going on. It's a cool product. It's a cool company, which is why I'm sharing it with y'all. If you're going to RSA, seems like a lot of people are not going to RSA. I'm not. I saw Kimberly wasn't, a couple other people. I guess, first of all, I just want to mention this Integer thing. If you're interested, sign up. For the Simply Cyber community, I am curious. Drop it in chat. Are you going to RSA? Yes or no? And if you would normally go to RSA, but you're not going this year, that's kind of what I'm curious about. Because I've never been to RSA. I have no interest in going to RSA, but I go to Black Hat DEF CON, but I haven't gone in the last 2 years because of pandemic, and I will be going this year. So I'm really curious on that. Guys, I do want to tease something pretty awesome. If you're here and you're still listening, I'm wearing my red team shirt today, right? So in 3 hours from now, I will be going on live stream on ThreatGen's YouTube channel, right? So if you go to YouTube and you type in ThreatGen, you'll find us. I will be executing in the cybersecurity simulation platform live on stream. I will be operating as a red team operator, and I will be emulating APT Wizard Spider, famously known as the Conti ransomware gang. I will be using their TTPs. I will be doing everything I possibly can to ransomware this organization and exfiltrate data to execute the double extortion technique that they have made quite famous. I'll be educating you on the MITRE attack framework, how I identify their TTPs, how I'll be the threat actor. So, but I will tell you how you can look for those TTPs in your environment if you're a blue team operator. How many boxes am I going to ransomware? All the boxes, Alex. That's my goal. I'm gonna dominate. That's Wizard Spider's MO, man. Maximum damage, maximum profit. Got to pay that monthly payroll. They have HR. They've got 100 employees. They gotta make payroll. So I'll be going after them. I think I will be asking for $1 million from the organization. So come hang out, learn a couple things, have some fun, and it'll be a good time. Also, I want to share with you guys this Friday, excuse me. I will be doing the Simply Cyber Live on Thursday at 4:30. It will be with Josh Stroshine. We'll be talking about Suricata. It'll be a good conversation. I still haven't created the thing yet. I have been ridiculously busy. But Friday at 4 p.m., we do the Radar. This is a new show that I created recently. Yeah, thanks, Kimberly. If you guys did get value out of the briefing, hit the like button real quick. It helps me measure, if people are digging what we're doing here. If you have feedback, put it in the comments. Hey, Jerry, don't do this. Hey, Jerry, do that. It's cool. The Radar is a new show that I started a couple months ago, and it's 3 experts roundtable on what is on their radar. I'm just going to tell you right now, this week's radar item for me is this company that claims to absolutely eliminate ransomware. Like if you employ their product in your environment, you have a 100% chance of not being ransomware, which I think is the most foolhardy, arrogant claim a company could possibly make, right? I think it's ridiculous. I'm going to be going in and understanding how their product works, and then I'm going to be trying to analyze where the gaps or the holes in their armor are on why they can't do that. And fun fact, they don't warranty their product, right? If you're so confident, put a warranty behind it. But I digress, okay? So that's my radar item. Eric Taylor from Barricade Cyber and a rotating guest usually joins us. So if you're interested in that kind of discussion and banter, come join us on Friday. But this is where you want to be today at 11:30. This is going to be awesome. I can't wait. This thumbnail art's ridiculous too. My floating head. All right, guys. Woo! All right, so that is the threat briefing for today. Shout out to Moses David Klein for suggesting that I start giving episode numbers. So this was episode 122. I will make an effort to say both the date and the episode number in every episode. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. I'm going to just spend a minute here in chat, but, thank you for being here. But I do want to spend a minute in chat before I end the show. Say hey to the people that I didn't get a chance to say to. Hey, Pamela, good to see you. Hey, Wes. Chris Weaver, love the comments. Oh, I see. Thanks, Base. Love the comments Chris Weaver leaves on the Simply Cyber stuff. Just a production note, guys. I do make produce videos for the channel too. It's been a little while. I've kind of I've really been super busy, like really busy, and haven't been able to do that. But I am really happy to be doing the live streams. Hey, Lupe, really looking forward to any announcements and updates. Lupe, really pumped for you on your quest and goals of getting in the industry. Hey, Tony. Hey, Spastic. Yeah, I love Dre. The Suricata stream, William, will be Thursday at 4:30 p.m. If you go to simplycyber.io/streams, it'll be there. It's not there right now. I'm confirming with Josh that he can be there, but I haven't heard from him yet. Thanks, Jim Lund. Always good to see you. Guys, I just want to point out, too, you want to talk about, global phenomena? We had every country, we had every continent on stream today, minus Antarctica. I'm going to have to reach out to my people down there and see if I can't organize that. Benjamin, yeah, you can send me a DM. Send it to me on Discord or LinkedIn. I will point out, this is a real fact. I get DM'd 40 or 50 times a day. I can't get to all of them. All right. I can't get to many of them. And I have 3 jobs and a family. So that's why I do the streams and the Discord and try to put out tons of information at mass so I can help as many people as possible. But just so you know, Benjamin, I'll make effort, but it's very difficult for me to give. If I gave everybody 10 minutes of my day every day, I would get fired from my job because I wouldn't be doing my job. Hey, Jason Skates, great to see you, man. Hope everything's well. Love that. Hey, Miss Julian. Hey, Chinadu. Yes, love it. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. I had a great time on stream, as always. Thank you, Claudio. Yeah. InfoSec Live, good to see you, Simon. Hope the new gig is working out for you. Would love to catch up with you at some time soon. All right, guys. If you have any questions, jump on Discord. Let's do that. Please, if you can, hit the like button. But more importantly, if you get value from the daily cyber threat briefing, let me put my big mug up here. If you get value from the daily cyber threat briefing, share it with your network, share it with your friends. I think it's a great thing that we're doing here, and it helps a lot of people. All right, guys, that's going to do it. Thanks so much. We'll see you today at 11:30 when I'm going to put on the baseball cap and get all sorts of threat actory. Take care, everyone.